Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO City Undercover. Apparently there was plans for LEGO City Undercover 2. I don't believe it ever got made. If it did, it came out a year after this came out for the Wii U, and then nobody ever reviewed it. We are at the point where we can jump into the story levels, and we're going to just try to get everything on the story levels. We've got the 15 special assignments. We're going to skip all cutscenes, just try to get everything. Once we have everything in a level, we save and exit. There's no point to run it all the way to the end. We have score multiplier times oh, I totally had forgotten that this level even existed.
I think I'm gonna faint.
This level is so much like
across to that building.
a lot of the levels in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and then you never see any verticality at all otherwise. So let's see, there's something in here. So how do we get in there? I wish I could grapple with everything instead of just that guy.
Great.
Like that kind of sucks that. Alright, so there's tons of things here we didn't even see. Like, no duh. Let's see, we're gonna have to. Hopefully we don't run into too many things we have to scan. Alright. And hopefully we don't end up in any scenario where things are way different. Like, and we go into a different area. We'll be collecting vehicles and such. And characters. But what I don't want to do is just have us break everything in the area. You can't go into camera mode either. So it's funny, this mirror is changing how everything looks, but if you press that for just a brief second, you get a image from the what would the character's perspective be. The danger of this is this could teleport me anywhere. So I'm hoping the game will not be so cruel as to put me in a position where I have to go in circles a second time. Interesting. That definitely felt like something that should have been broken. But it didn't do anything. And this may just not be anything anyways. So instead of doing all of that, it probably would have been smarter just to scan and just make sure that there was actually something to look at or do. You can see there's a lot of things over there. I don't even know if I really needed to teleport when I could have just jumped down, but alright. There's my fall recovery. Proving itself to be slightly useful.
Now I'm feeling slightly nauseous.
There's some micro studying. So the whole idea here is, with all our red bricks, that we should have a moderately decent experience here. I'm not sure if that's really the case though. Alright. Yeah, I think that's all I can do. Investigate for clues. And then the next things are all way over there. I did this already, and I don't think that there's going to be a B prompt. So I'm hoping I got everything in here. There's chairs, and they're, I suppose, giving us bricks, which we're still kind of short on bricks, but notice how the audio stopped. Look at the background too, that skybox. That skybox looks way better than what we see when we're actually in the open world section. There's kind of a considerably large amount of points where you're either looking out and seeing nothing but gray fog, or you're seeing kind of an uninteresting background. At least this fake background in this level gives you something that you can deal with, something to look at all times. I guess the problem there is when you're in an open world, you would have to have a system, I think, that TT Games probably doesn't have, to have a 3D skybox rendered for every location. There might be some way you could have tricked the system.
Well, that furniture looked tacky anyway.
Like, there's probably about 15 districts, if I was to guess, in LEGO City. If each one of those districts had a skybox around it, that would kind of work, but then the transitions wouldn't work very well. It would be easier and smarter simply to have a very far distance in which you could see, but at a much lower resolution, and it just doesn't kind of do that. And getting a lot of micro stuttering in that.
There's a cop down here.
Everyone scram!
I'm not gonna let those thieves get away.
Now, I don't have a timer, so I am perfectly fine to look at what is seemingly a considerable amount of stuff. So my guess is I just couldn't get up here. There's a red brick. It's not one of the important red bricks, but it's certainly something we want to get. And any amount of studs we get is useful. In this level alone, we've already collected 61 million studs. Certainly not something to laugh at. And that'll bump us up by 40 million. Purple studs are, I believe, purple studs are, I believe, are worth 1,000. So from that perspective, we kind of know that you're getting 3,000 or 30,840 for every purple stud. I don't think I've seen too many LEGO builds with solar panels. That would be something LEGO could do pretty easily. They could make a separate solar panel pack, which they've started making these packs that they sell online called the Extras and Features pack. I don't know if it's already been given up on or not, but it gives you just small things, road cones, things that would make sense if you're building a giant LEGO city, but things that they can always shortchange you on individual sets. But that also helps because up until this point, it has very much been a case where people trying to build giant Lego cities have had to buy multiple sets or swap and buy and sell bricks just to get things like road cones. Ooh, I didn't realize there was a map of the levels. Well, wonder if that consistently stays that way. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to see. So they want me to come back that direction. So over here, there's nothing. This is where we were. Up and then under. In the air, down there. It's just so many things. It's funny how this level is kind of like a tutorial for it's a tutorial for playing through the basics of the storyline, but it's also a tutorial now through playing as a free play player. It's a little weird that they've not separated the game from free play mode to regular play mode. I think I kind of enjoy that. Like, it was kind of ridiculous that sometimes you could only do certain things in free play mode when it would have made a lot more sense to be able to do it in regular mode. You still kind of have that problem quite a bit. Undeniably, you have to play the game in story mode, which means first. So even if you do try to have a mad dash experience where you just go through everything, it's gonna be a hassle.
One down, the rest to go.
Just arrest that guy. I guess maybe there were some Lego codes you could put in that would unlock all the characters. I think that might be the next evolution of something like this for a Lego game, is to have it where you have the ability but not the knowledge to unlock everything on the first try. That way anybody who's playing the game quite a bit would have a leg up on things. Let's see, that's the plant. There's so many things just being highlighted. I'm just hoping I got everything. See, there's a little glowing in these rings. I think that's an indication that there's something that will unlock there. That, I have no idea how we're going to unlock that. Always run behind, just in case there's a purple stud. It's gonna drop some pieces, I think. So yeah, this is gonna be some kind of car, radio controlled car, that I'm gonna then be able to control some way, although I don't see where. You control it from this point, which is odd. good enough. There's a lot more cloud cover in the background happening here than at any point in the game too, which goes to show, I think, that they knew they had some performance issues. Like, you don't have this level of tweaks if you didn't need that level of tweaks. I wonder if that's where that is. Is that way? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm gonna hover through this, and that did nothing. Alright, well, it was worth looking at. Well, we're in a dangerous position now. There seems like there's been more than enough things around here that aren't getting marked off once you did something with them. Alright. So we just have to go to the next thing. This is taking longer than I would have liked it to. I guess when I get the 5th of those, we'd stop getting those clues, and then if I did have to play this level a second time, it would be a little bit easier because of that. Seems like there's an edge here for no reason. I'm going to take an opportunity to look around here. Doesn't really matter, even if I did fall, it would just reset me because we have fall rescue, so I can just hit B, fall down, and it'll just put me back up. I also have immortality, so...
Wow! I didn't even realize I was a gymnast.
This is some kind of ice cream machine or something. Smoothie machine. Now, previously in games, doing everything to fulfill a shield or an object would give me studs, but I don't think it is going to. Right, let's look around. Doesn't seem like there's too much more micro stuttering. There's always more micro stuttering. So everything is kind of up there. And map wise, this map is useless. I don't feel like any of the other LEGO games had maps of the inside the levels. Like the levels themselves are inherently supposed to be so linear and dumbed down that you would not need a map or get lost. Maybe in the dozen or so LEGO games I've played, I've once, maybe twice gotten lost for a few minutes. Let's fix this. Let's break in here. What we don't have, and this is going to be a problem, come to think of it, is we don't have any guarantee that we got everything, come to think of it. So, like, I guess you can look on this map and it will tell you that there's one more vehicle to be found, but this pause menu, okay, so it's pause menu and the vehicle, the map menu, both tell you that. Alright, so we should be safe. What am I supposed to do?
Don't mind me.
Is there something down here that needs to be collected? Nope.
And that makes 2.
It's a weird request, I will completely say this, but I feel like in LEGO City in particular, they could have embraced more simplistic characters that had a more limited amount of things they did. Chase could have been the main character, and he could have swapped equipment instead of, but every button could have made a lot more sense. Whereas it's definitely different, to say the least. When you're fighting somebody with this and you're swinging a pickaxe versus fighting this and shooting a gun versus this and shooting a chicken versus this and firing a jackhammer. So there's a kind of awkward inconsistency of the buttons that happens, where X means use your special ability, whatever your special ability is. But you get vastly different results when you do use your special ability. And they really put the pickaxe guy in the wrong place. Let's see. Just gonna try and break everything around here just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Here we go, blow that up to get in that area. Meanwhile, while that's blowing up, interesting, the blow up section also doesn't give you any studs. This is an office. I don't know if this is supposed to be a Matrix reference or if these are just broadcasters. But broadcasters for what? In fact, we've seen several characters that give you the feeling that we were supposed to see more reporters in this game, reporting on events, talking about what is happening or what has happened in the previous levels. That kind of doesn't happen.
And there's number 3. That just leaves the leader.
So we've got this to do.
Stop!
And that might be the last thing we actually need to do.
I guess he's gonna be a bit harder to catch.
Alright. So let's look. This is taking longer than I would have liked it. he's there. And there's nothing there. And these are still around. Which I find that disconcerting, to say the least. Right? We've gotten... Let's see. We've gotten the red brick, we've gotten 2 skins, we've got 2 vehicles, we've gotten all 4 pieces of the shield. So... what is still being highlighted? What would that unlock? This, and this. But I already got what was there. Or at least I think I got what was there. So I'm gonna have to just assume that that is glitched. And we're good. And we'll just run ahead. And we probably could just save and exit the level right now. Is there anything that I really have to worry about here? I think at some point I unlocked easy running up angles. Totally worth it to come
Now
up here.
that's a view.
So long, cop. Good luck getting over here.
I can see what appears to be the leader of the gang of robbers stood on one of the rooftops. He seems to be waving at someone.
So
It'll take more than
there
that
is
to
a
stop me,
broadcaster
Why
in
did I
this
have to open my
section,
big yap?
Wait,
but then it gets
I've just
completely
seen a member
forgotten.
of the LEGO City PD swing into the fray. It looks like this pursuit will end in an arrest. This is Conrad Peters on the scene for Channel K News.
Yeah, you would think that that would play more to the storyline, and it totally doesn't.
Come on, give up
I don't even
already.
think they show up at the end of the game, whereas if you had taken some of your budget from for the terrible incidental dialogue and just had a reporter reading a news report talking about how Chase saved the day over the credits, that would have made me feel a little bit more heroic. Still looking around, and we're so far away now that we can't even scan those sections. We do this. Actually managed not to micro stutter in the middle of that. Alright, and skip. And that's the end of the level. So now we've got fast build, which is actually going to be more useful. And we've unlocked a couple of vehicles that I think we'd still have to buy, and we've unlocked a couple of characters that we'd still have to buy. Our goal is to get to 4 billion studs first. And this is the first LEGO City hero that we didn't get. So we get 1 gold brick, 2 gold bricks. Yeah, and that's that. And so in totality, that gave us 474 million studs. We'll get to 4 billion faster than I thought we would. That being said, it might be a little bit slower if we stop running into issues. Interesting. Just a brick right there. Some of these places it just default loads you to is interesting. Like, why did it pick there? Is that where the level ended? No, not really. I guess you kind of get the idea that that was their intention. Like, somebody's intention was that this level would end here, and that you would have been jumping around the rooftops of those buildings, and this building, and this building. But the connection there is practically non-existent. Clearly they wanted you to not go through the entirety of the open world without leaving and loading. What am I trying to say here? I'm stuttering. They wanted you to never have to load into a level, which is a very ambitious, nice idea. Alright, so we'll look at this just to make sure we got everything. That is now done. This entire city, however, if we were to look, still has plenty of stuff to do.
My dogs are barking.
The next thing we're going to jump into is Bluebell Mine, which I am fairly certain special assignment for the Bluebell Mine is this. We kind of know what it is. It'd be nice if we could skip into... Nope, this is special assignment 2. I do have a list, so we'll do this in order. I'll just have to bring up the list. Albatross Island Prison is special assignment 2. Okay. Alright, then we'll do Bluebell Mine. I don't think this is just dumping me out in random places either when I save and exit or when I defeat a level. It might not have been a bad idea if it did dump me out in random places, but no, clearly when you save or exit a level you are leaving where it is. Alright, so this mission is the last one to get the true LEGO City hero. We need 2 vehicles and the shield. Special assignment 2, Trouble in Sur. And if we skip the cutscenes, this might not be too difficult to do. Some of these levels very possibly will be pretty easy. Hit Y and skip. The fact that it's showing the cutscene and then I hit skip and then there's really no loading behind that is interesting, to say the least. Alright. So, first things first, we're gonna have to fireman out all 5 of the fires. There we go. Getting the fires out will help clean up the environment. That's one of the things we needed to do. Alright. Next thing. Is there anything on this floor that needs to be done? Doesn't look like it. So the next thing is over here. Which, if we can just jump, I think we might be able to find an edge and, yeah, find an edge and get up here. Come on, fireman. Chop down this door. It's one of 4 gold piles that need to be broken. This will be a little interesting because I don't think I need to... I don't think I need to really arrest these people to get out of this area. So... it's questionable how much of this really needs to be done. Screwed that up. The characters on top are obscuring my view. I'm just gonna fly over here and see if there's a ledge I can jump around. We'll just stick that in there. And we'll hopefully hit that and they'll not do anything too important. The only thing I'd like is attract bricks. And I'm still missing that. Definitely want to get this purple brick though. I'm not going to go out of my way to break everything to get little small amounts of bricks, but purple is the highest increment we can get, so. Although we may quickly find that we don't even need to deal with that. Is there something up here? Can I not break this? Nope. Ooh. Might be in a bad position. Good thing I can fly back out of there. You can't break it until you've gone through the other area. So because we're skipping some stuff, we're gonna have to be careful. Doesn't seem like there's a lot around the edges of this level. Which that's not super surprising. Alright. Alright. Definitely didn't have this guy. The problem mostly with this is that I'm afraid I'm gonna leave this area without getting everything. Alright. Let's hit this. And then jump down here, smash that, jump up here, smash this, and that should be the last one of these dirt piles slash gold piles. There's a lot of purples in this. This probably isn't a terrible level to go back and try a second time if you need purples. Although, as long as you get the score multipliers, I think you're playing the game the right way, so I think we will get the 4 billion studs with no real struggle. There's also a lot of open world stuff where we'll just run into incidental studs. The map on this is also useless. And man, buttons are there's too many buttons these days on controllers and not enough buttons all at the same time. It boils a lot down to just how the game is designed. Like, clearly, having a scanner and a map is not the right thing. It would have been better, I think, to probably do a what could they have done? They probably should do like a ping type action that would cause it to locate things in an area, or just go with what they were doing before. Like, I don't think I'm just being resistant to change when I say the way all the other Lego games do things, in which you simply have an indicator that points you towards something, is perfectly fine. Even if those indicators on a few occasions in Lego games pointed you in the complete wrong direction because of weird glitches. I guess maybe the idea is the scanner is an improvement on that, but it doesn't work well. It doesn't work well, particularly on pressing the D-pad on the right. Maybe if it came up when you hit left bump or right bump, or right trigger and left trigger, that would make some sense. Alright. Let's see, do we have everything? We're missing 2 vehicles, but this area seems to me like it is done. Apparently I have an infinite amount of handcuffs too. Again, just want to scan this whole area. Make sure that there's nothing left in here. Yep. So this guy we defeat without having to grapple, because we wouldn't have had the grapple ability. And then...
Good work! So, is there any way I can help you, officer?
Yeah. I need to check a prisoner's cell for something. He's called Blue?
This, I can't skip this
Blue?
one.
He's been here almost as long as me. Always sees I get some of that cake his mom bakes him. It kinda tastes funny. There you go. I'm off for a nap. Need to stay alert. That's why I have at least 4 a day.
I am really regretting my life choices about now.
Okay,
I should have stayed in school.
so that would have given me the
You get in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
police,
I gotta be quick. There are
the
guards
criminal
near me.
outfit.
Now, once you've got the equipment, you need to get into the warden's office.
What?
It's the only way to Rex's cell. Wait.
Shh. Yeah, that's Blue. He's the one that talks to pastries.
Okay. Now go. The door's at the right side of the 3rd story, and you better hope the warden's not in there.
I'm gonna get you back for this, policeman.
Right side of
Chase,
3rd story.
this is really important.
What is it?
So, do you think Ellie likes me or not?
Frank! I'm at the prison, remember? Trying to find out how Rex escaped.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I think she does.
Sweet!
Let me out of here. I'm innocent.
So I'm just
give a guy
going
a
through the
second
motions here, because I'm not sure what triggers the end of this level
I ain't a bad person,
into the
really.
next area.
Come on, I'll prove it. Just let me out of here a second.
Alright, so we go in there, we get that. Then that would have led us through towards
It's a good thing these bars are
this.
between you and me.
You can't keep me in here forever! You can't keep me in here! Not on a sunny day!
There's probably a lot of incidental dialogue
At least it's better than solitary!
written here that like totally didn't get used anywhere else. I don't know how you would do that, though. Like, I think you just reduce the amount of incidental dialogue you write and say, just have these guys say either generic things like, let's get them, or just wait until I get my hands on you. Those would be lines of dialogue you could use specifically to reuse later on when you're being attacked by any group of bad guys. Alright, scan time. There's absolutely nothing in here. So what unlocks the vehicles then? Alright. This is like the only secret thing in the entirety of the game where it's actually secret and not obvious.
Ha! He won't get out of there in a hurry.
Hello? Is someone out there? No, I told you. I haven't let anyone look in there. Not even that fool Dunby. I don't want you back here either. No.
This guy, by the way, storyline,
Gotta go.
like the warden, he never gets his comeuppance in the storyline too. Talk about bad, inappropriate story writing.
Are you looking
Like,
in my safe? Don't touch my records.
totally
They're
just
alphabetized.
the warden helps Rex escape, and nothing happens to him,
You better not be messing with my records.
as far as I know.
Especially not the opera ones. Somebody.
Let's go and skip
this
this.
door.
Micro stunning. Now there was a bull here, and the bull disappeared.
Fresh air.
And we're getting a lot of micro stuttering. Did I accidentally break the bull when I needed to ride it?
I had tacos last night.
He's in the bathroom, so like, if there was one place I wanted to be locked into,
The old secret
the
entrance
bathroom
behind
would
a
be
painting. What a
my
classic.
choice. Access to running water. You can survive for a lot longer that way. Access to toilets. Potentially a full bath to shower. And yeah, there's just a whole section here, isn't it? Just a whole extra area. So there's about 5 things around here. I'm not even gonna bother scanning them. I'm gonna instead run around. So I guess this is supposed to be a workshop. Alright, fast build. Nice fast build. No hassle. Let's get rid of those guys, because they're not going to do anything but irritate me. Alright, so there's a control button over there. So it needs to jump off the car and hit that. And then that lets me in here, where as a fireman I'm picking up a valve, which then lets me come over here and I guess turn off the gas flames, or not turn off the gas flames but open the door. That's one vehicle. And over here we've got a criminal thing. Which might be another vehicle. Still feels very, very weird that they felt the need to force you to use TNT, because it then makes the second playthrough, the free playthrough here. We got a scooter, just called a scoot. I've forgotten what those things are called nowadays. They were a curiosity. I wouldn't even call them a fad. Very few people actually had them. Segways, that's what they're called. Alright, so we have, I think, everything, but I think we will just run to the end of these levels just to make sure. Just in case we can scan everything.
This must be Rex's cell.
I don't believe there's any special achievement for
A punch bag and weightlifting equipment. Oh, great.
for
'Cause the last thing
doing
that's
something like
interesting,
this.
A hidden button.
Like, look at those rays of light coming through the bars. That's interesting.
Hey guys.
Terribly
does
animated.
Rex know you're using his hot tub?
I am unbeatable.
Come on.
Then we have
try
underwear
your
guys.
So, did you manage to get into the warden's private elevator?
Yeah. Wow. Rex's cell is nicer than my apartment.
Mostly down to me, after the warden made sure he got the biggest room in the prison. Well, what'd you expect to find in there, anyhow?
I figure he was probably in a hurry when he busted out of here. So he might have left some evidence behind.
Good luck catching Rex, Chase. And when you get him, tell him Blue says hi.
We didn't do that, by the way. And there's a map in the background. Let's just come over here and scan, and you can even see there's a tunnel behind there. Nothing storyline here is getting pointed out by the scanner, so if you were running into trouble actually
I'm glad I wasn't sat on that.
finishing the level, just because you've forgotten how you did it the first time, or if you were playing the first time and you were having trouble figuring out what to do, the game is going to offer you no assistance there. Which, that's probably not a good way to balance your assistance in a game, particularly a kids game. Like, if on the third level there is some small percentage of kids that would just say get frustrated and rage
And
quit
there's the last button.
a Lego game, they wouldn't make it anywhere close towards actually seeing all of this. Yeah, if there was going to be any kind of achievement, it really would be Rex Fury being back in his prison cell. But I don't think that there's any levels around that, or any achievements around levels. See that one? What said one of two?
A jukebox in a jail cell? I'm not sure what's more despicable about Rex. His crimes or his taste in music?
He's dancing.
The old secret entrance behind a painting. What a... Hang on. Didn't I say this already?
Did he say that before?
That's right. It's not just police beats that I'm good at.
Was there a music minigame in this? I think there was for a brief second. Let's skip this. Yeah, there was I guess an experiment in a musical minigame, and then it stopped. So now we have Blue Whitaker, who plays no role in the game whatsoever. And I guess technically working for him was the first gang you would have been working for. We now have all 15 of the LEGO True Heroes, which I feel like would unlock maybe Liberty Island. So let's see if it says anything like that. Let's see. This takes me out here. And we've already been here. Is there several things over in this side that we could collect real quick? Probably. Whole bunch of blue studs. Maybe that is a reference to Blue Whitaker. Yeah, but he plays no role at all. So I don't know if the idea was that LEGO City Undercover 2 was gonna come out, and there is some weirdness to be said about how every LEGO game series plans on having 2 games come out, and this one did not have 2 games come out. So clearly this was one of the least successful LEGO games to ever be made. Which I guess that's maybe when the oversight kicked in. When they actually said, you know what, you didn't make a good LEGO game, and you didn't make an age-appropriate LEGO minigame. I don't even think the age-appropriateness is the biggest problem. It's just the design in general. Right. Yeah. So we can do little bits of this, but it doesn't really serve the best purpose. There must be a free race here. Then I screwed that up. Okay. That's a train track up there, so I don't think that they want me to get over there. So that goes there, that goes there. Then where would the free race point me to next? There's construct 65 super builds, investigate to uncover a surprise. There's a complete 16 time trial races. So there's definitely maybe just a little bit of running around. Yeah. This doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. I guess the train also, the train that's coming up from where I am, yeah, I guess that connects up there. This is gonna be frustrating. And it could just be a case of the game being glitched. It really could. Is there some kind of time trial or... So I'm gonna take this, climb up here, and then see if I can make it all the way up. Seems like they've got it designed specifically so that won't work. Meanwhile, there's just nothing happening. So yeah, I think that's just glitched. That would be my guess. Like, there's nothing over here that seems to make any sense. Climbing up to the top, I don't think would do anything. Jumping over the edge there doesn't really do anything. It might be a case that there are some things still just locked. And we may have to run through the city a couple of times to collect everything. At this rate, it seems like we will take about two levels per recording. Let's see if there's something up here. Let's see. There's a helicopter super build that we can do. Alright. There's no reason not to build things now. Because we now have the score multiplier, so of the 21 out of 65 super builds, we can just build everything. Alright. So if we call in this plane, we can now fly anywhere we want to go, except for maybe Liberty Island. And so we'll see how that works. This also means that if we ever need to get a helicopter, we can just fast travel at any point by pressing pause and returning to the police station, and we'll be able to float there. So unless we run into an invisible wall, I am going to the wrong island, we should be fine. That's Albatross Island. No nitros on the helicopters, unfortunately. You almost get a nice looking Lego City when you're flying around through this, but it's definitely lacking in buildings and details. It is a pathetic comparison to Lego City Marvel, the Lego Marvel Superheroes game that had a pretty well designed, scaled down version of Manhattan in it. And see, that's the weird thing, is if you were gonna like rebuild Lego City, looks like we can land. I'm just gonna hold Y and see how we can land on this. If I was gonna reboot this series, I would just start over from scratch at this location. Oh, there. Jump from that boat to Lady Liberty Island is closed to the public. Seriously? So you can helicopter in there, but you can't get to it, which makes me wonder if possibly there's some kind of fast travel point that I'm missing, or what. Like when we first started, we couldn't get to the top of these locations, and I thought these red container crates would be a lot more important, and they weren't. Let's see. Fly over to this. Looks like there's... Seems like maybe Lady Liberty Island really does just unlock at the end of the game once you have all the... Is that Sarah Horner? Is that a reference to Sarah Connor in Terminator? Wouldn't be surprised if it was. No running on top of cranes or anything like that. Alright. Wants me to fly over here, use this, and then fly over here, which probably didn't need to do. Although it may prove more difficult to get out of the water than it should. Way over here. If it isn't around this area, I have no idea where the fast travel point would be to open up Lady Liberty Island. And that means I should just give up on it. And all these other things are super easy once you just have the characters unlocked. Of course, you have to run through a considerable amount of animation every time you do something like this. And these call-in points are going to get annoying. They're going to get repetitive because it's just the same animation each time. Yeah, it really would be that call-in point. And just some color guns. So there was clearly some color gun puzzle. But yeah, there's nothing here at the docks, and this is where we kind of started the game. Is this a Pac-Man game? Where you're supposed to figure out where you're going? Okay. Looks like it's a Pac-Man game where you have to get all of the Lego studs. Which, okay. This won't be too hard. That's an interesting idea. That's certainly something that I don't think I've seen in any other Lego game. We've seen something similar to that, I believe, in Lego Batman 3, where you're hacking into computers and doing these mini games that were pretty awful. Well, inevitably, I could just keep on going in different directions and unlocking things, and we will have to do that eventually, but kind of don't need to do it right now. Let's see, if I select this, you can't fast travel to a colon point. That's a bit of a problem. These must be super build sections. So we would kind of know where the super build sections are, so if we wanted to run to a super build section, then we could use that as a marker to look around. Lady Liberty Island has 15 gold bricks on it, and 3 vehicles and 4 skins. So it really can't be unlocked by being at 100%. Maybe it could be unlocked by doing 100% of the story levels. It could be unlocked, I believe, by doing all the red bricks, because, yeah, there's no red brick on there. But it couldn't be unlocked by doing the character minifigs or vehicles, unless it's just wants over a certain percentage of the characters and vehicles unlocked. Same is true for the gold bricks. Meanwhile, we're making decent progress here. We're at 1.5 billion, almost 1.6 billion studs. We have probably more than enough bricks for the rest of the game, and we'll be collecting other bricks because they're just on the map. I don't assume that the bricks ever respawn, and I assume that there's probably some internal counter. I guess that would be the worst case scenario, is if we got all the super bricks except for one, and we got everything else out of an area, and then we had to run around the entire map, or just even an area of the map, looking for that one super brick that we can't find. If that's important or not. It seems like we got no reward for getting Lego True Hero. And we have to remember that there are 15 gold bricks in the police headquarters, so maybe we unlock something in the briefing room by getting all of the Lego City Hero bars done. Otherwise, it seems like that was just in the game for really no reason. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.